Our next Child Voice presenter is 11-year-old Gia Eswaran. Gia has 3 older siblings, 4 if you count her dog, which she does. She was born in Malaysia, but Gia has lived in Queensland since she was only 1 year old. She loves bonding with her siblings and playing fun games with them too. Gia says if you don't count admiring nature or spend my time plotting against anyone who doesn't want to protect this beautiful planet as a hobby. I've also been doing soccer for 3 years. It's my dream to be an ecologist to save the planet, but also a passion to act. Gia is doing this keynote speech because she has made it for a mission to save the world her own way, using humour for trust to be restored in Logan. Gia says our vibrance in our people is getting ignored, Logan, and it's up to you to fix it. Please make our next change leader feel very welcome. Gia Eswaran.
Hi Logan, I'm Gia and I go to Kimberley Park State School, where I lead as a Japanese captain. I have a question for you. Have you ever wondered what the problem is in our city? The real problem. Not that there's no ice cream in the fridge, although that's a really serious one too. I'll give you a hint. The answer might be just behind me. If you said we don't have trust in Logan, you're right. When we see our neighbours walking down the street, what do we think of them? Are we being open to them and thinking, oh look, that could be my friend in the future? Or is it fight and flight mode, where your brain tries to protect you and it says, oh no, that's a potential thief, and it controls your body to do things like punch or run away? Okay, maybe not that crazy, but you know what I mean. It's okay to say the second option, because that shows human nature. However, to show the first option shows that you have sweet and pure intention. It needs to be normal to think the first one, so our future generations can grow up in a suburb where everyone supports and trusts each other. Look at the guy on your right. We all think he's a thief, right? But what if I told you he wasn't? What if I told you he was just a guy who likes wearing black and his face was really cold? That's why we need to stop assuming people and work on our trust. We could do this soon and start to organize Neighbours Days, which are basically just get-togethers for children with fun activities for children and spaces for adults to have conversations and make friends. It's usually held at houses, which allows children to get to know each other and make friends. As I mentioned before, it causes adults and generations to come to support each other in the tough and happy times in life. Another thing to consider about not having trust might likely be in your house. How many adults here have children who watch YouTube or have many other social media platforms like Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and more? I'm assuming a lot are here. With things like these, children could think that they would get in trouble and not be allowed to watch it anymore. From this, I think that the child brain thinks it's just best to hide it from their guardians completely. Kids don't trust their own guardians to understand them and their wants, and in result, they get in more trouble when they get busted. And no, I'm not saying don't be the boring old parent no one likes and take devices away from kids. I'm saying that we are controlling ourselves on apps like these, and parents need to trust us that we know what we're doing online. The other thing, the internet. Kids, as you know, we get distracted very easily. Think of the internet as a perfect wormhole for us. We go from researching a history question to shopping for shiny shoes on Amazon. How'd that happen? Think of dads talking. They go from returning a soccer ball to their neighbors to a 3-hour-long conversation. Whatever their excuse is, that's our excuse. The internet is the kids' version of the 3-hour-long conversation. Research shows that adults spend about 2.5 hours on their devices a day. But if you do the math, that doesn't sound like a lot, right? But if you do the math, you get 38 days a year. Most of that time could be spent on, I don't know, doing a hobby or, bond with your children to build that trust, just putting that out there. You want us to shrink to a baby again? You say that we're growing up too fast? You spend that time building trust with us and then hope we won't grow up. Now that I've given you really so much information, I have a question for you. Yeah, another one. Do you really want to live in a society where no one trusts each other and everyone lives in their own hermit shells? Well, that's what we're coming to, Logan. Thank you for listening.